Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn the Traveling Trainer with GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area, about to welcome back another wonderful recurring guest on today's show, Elsie Trawick. Now before Elsie joins us back here on GoTarryn TV, I'd like to ask everyone out there, if you'd please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. And as you know, Elsie is my guide to proper nutrition, eating healthy, and total wellness, and that's why I'm going to ask her today about gluten. That's right, we're going to talk about gluten and how it affects all of us, including people who are gluten intolerant, and especially those who have celiac disease. So we're going to address some of that in the next 30 minutes, and she's going to go over all the important details and facts that you need to know about gluten. I think she's got some books, too, that she's going to share with us that would be a wonderful resource for you to check out. So Elsie will be joining us here momentarily, and in the meantime, remember that GoTarryn Personal Training is your time, your investment in your life. We'll be right back. And we are back, and as you can see side by side, we're welcoming back Elsie Trawick. Elsie, how are you doing out there today?
I'm great. How are you, and how's everybody out there?
Yeah, everyone's good. Thank you. Everyone's having a good time, and you know, I know that we brought you back on today to talk about the importance of being aware of gluten, especially those who have celiac disease or are intolerant to gluten. So I'll let you take away and just fire it away, Elsie.
Okay, I will. I'm excited to be here and talk about one of my favorite topics because I live gluten-free.
Exactly.
And gluten is a protein. For those who do not know, gluten is a naturally occurring protein in wheat, rye, and barley. So it is naturally occurring. It is not a food that is added to wheat, rye, and barley. It naturally occurs in the grain itself.
Oh, okay.
I have a funny story to tell. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was talking to her husband, and they're both personal trainers.
Oh, cool.
And they were talking about gluten, and he said, well, if you go gluten-free, does that mean you go carb-free? Is gluten a carb? And I just cracked up laughing because we were like, no, gluten is not a carb. It is a protein that naturally occurs in wheat, rye, and barley. So that means that everything that contains wheat, rye, and barley and their derivatives contains gluten. That means all wheat flour, rye flour, barley, pearls, barley flour, barley, anything. Anything that contains wheat. That's bulgur wheat, wheat berries, couscous, all your bread flours. Pastas, pizza, beer, soy sauce, things made, and we gluten also is naturally occurring in soy sauce, so it's out there. And since gluten is a protein, it's also used as a food additive.
Okay.
The gluten in wheat, rye, and barley is what gives it that glue-like texture. It gives pizza dough that great stretchability that we love when we eat it because it's chewy. And breads, the texture of bread comes from the gluten that's in the bread. It helps pasta when you're rolling out your pastas. What makes it that stretchable dough is the gluten.
See.
So it is a naturally occurring ingredient. It is not man-made, but it is used because it is a protein in many foods as an additive because it helps emulsify, keep things from separating. It's used predominantly, that's how it's used, as an emulsifier and to keep things from separated. It occurs, or it's added to a lot of your spice packets, seasoning packets, gravy packets.
Wow.
So the dry salad dressing mixes contain gluten a lot of times. It helps once you mix it with the other ingredients. It helps it keep it from separating.
See, okay.
So part of going gluten-free is learning how to read labels.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So what I want to talk about today is how to identify gluten. Where is it? It's in all breads that are breads, pastas, flours, mixes, cake mixes, batter mixes, seasoning mixes, salad dressing mixes.
Wow.
Unless they specifically say gluten-free.
Okay.
You can just go ahead and bet your bottom dollar they're in there.
Just assume that it's in there, right?
Just assume that it's in there. There's a great guide. This is the 2014-2015 edition. I don't buy these every year.
Okay.
But I am going to get the new one. I've already ordered it. But this is great. It's called the Gluten-Free Grocery Shopping Guide.
Cool.
And it's by Madison and Madison.
Okay.
And, you can get it from Cecilia's Marketplace, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay.
www.ceciliasmarketplace.com. And that's CECELIAS.
Okay.
Marketplace.com.
Cool.
This is a great buy if you're going gluten-free, considering going gluten-free, or have a friend that is struggling with gluten-free. Because this lists products. Just products. That is all it is.
Wow.
A resource guide of products that are gluten-free. So you can find things. Having a resource or a wellness coach, a health coach, a health expert that understands gluten-free lifestyle is critical. Because the first thing when you get a diagnosis of either celiac or non-celiac gluten sensitivity is you go into denial. Oh, not me. Or I'll be good for a week or two, 10 days, I'll feel better. Then you go back to eating gluten because you think you cured yourself.
Right.
Well, this is incurable. It doesn't change. It is an autoimmune disorder. It does affect your health profoundly. Even non-celiac gluten sensitivity can have ramifications on your health if you continue to eat gluten.
Wow. Oh.
Also, the side effects of being gluten sensitive and or celiac do not always present themselves as gastric distress. It can be skin irritations, mood swings, allergy symptoms, stuffiness, runny nose, sneezing, wheezing, cold, feeling like you have a cold or coming down with a cold, brain fog. So even though it's doing its harm or it's affecting your digestive tract, the symptoms may be coming out in other ways.
Okay.
And I just did a Facebook Live with Robin Hires, and it's on my business Facebook page, talking about how she started to connect the dots of how she realized she was gluten intolerant. It didn't display itself as a chronic illness or horrible gastric problems. It was slow and methodical that she started noticing she had particular symptoms. And she could never figure it out. And she started tracking what she was eating and realized the connection with gluten. So it's a tricky little thing out there, I can tell you that. But going back, so it is in almost everything we eat. So if you have not been tested for celiac disease, which is done in a doctor's office through a blood test, and you think you may have celiacs or need to be gluten-free, continue to eat your regular diet, go to your doctor, and ask to be tested. Because if you go off gluten, you could get a false negative. So it's important that you continue to eat your regular diet, or if you don't, like I cannot eat gluten because it makes me physically sick.
Oh, wow.
Not only brain fog and other things, but I get physically ill. Continue to eat within reason, but definitely go to your doctor and get tested, because that's an easy thing to find out. If it comes back you're not celiac, more than likely you're non-celiac gluten sensitive. Then the way to diagnose that is to go on a gluten-free diet. Go on a gluten-free diet for at least 10 days and see how you feel and see how your body feels. Are your symptoms, have they gone into remission? If they have, there's your evidence you're non-celiac gluten sensitive. And it's important, very important, to continue on a gluten-free diet. Just realize gluten cannot be part of your life. You got to give it up and move forward.
Okay.
I just did a post on my business page talking about the denial aspect of being diagnosed with gluten sensitivity or celiac. I remember when I was diagnosed back in 2009, the first thing I wanted was pizza and beer, even though I probably hadn't gone out and eaten pizza in a year and probably hadn't had a beer in over a year. That's what I wanted, because all of a sudden now I couldn't have it. And back in 2009, there were not the products on the market that there are today.
Right.
So if you have been diagnosed with gluten sensitivity or celiac, remember, enlist your friends, get them to help you. Because the more the group, and don't hesitate to tell people, get out there, be bold. I'm gluten-free. When you go out to eat, I keep to a gluten-free diet. A lot of the restaurants nowadays have gluten-free menus.
Okay.
If you don't have gluten-free menus, they do have options that they can make gluten-free.
Oh, that's great.
So don't be shy. Be bold. Tell your server. Seek out the restaurant on the internet. Google it. Look at their menu. Call. Speak to someone at the restaurant and say, I keep gluten-free. Do you have items on the menu that I can eat? If they say no, then don't go there.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, you know what, we need to find somewhere else. I've checked this place out. They don't have anything. And that's very true. This was several years ago, but I went to Saltwater down in St. Augustine, and I said, I keep gluten-free. What options do you have? And she said, you can eat any of our salads.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Like, really? I can't get a piece of broiled fish? And she was like, no.
Oh, no. Oh.
It was just the salad. So I was like,
Wow.
oh, well, I put that in my bonnet, and I was like, well, I can't go to that restaurant.
Yeah, unless you want just a salad, right.
Yeah. So you just chalk it up. So that night for dinner, I had a salad. So, and what gluten does to your body is it damages the small intestines. It damages the little villi in the curls of the small intestines. So it actually does physical damage to those. And if you continue to eat gluten, you continue to do damage to your small intestines, which can lead to other health issues. So it is very important that you do stop eating gluten and realize it's just something you have to let go of.
Wow.
I created a list of some really good books, and I'm going to throw those out. Yeah. I think they're some of the best books to help understand what gluten is, what celiac, what non-celiac gluten sensitivity does to your body. First one is called Gluten Freedom, and it's a book by Dr. Alessio Fasano, Fasano, and he's like the guru, the expert on gluten in the medical world today. Then there's another great little book called The Essentials of Celiac Disease and Gluten-Free Diet, and it's from the University of Chicago Medicine Celiac Disease Center. You can get these on Amazon or at your most of these on Amazon or at a good bookseller. Then there's another one called Celiac Disease, A Hidden Epidemic by Peter H.R. Green, and he's a doctor, and Rory Jones. Then there are 3 books, and I'm going to give you also the dates these were published. They're by Jax, J-A-X, Peters Lowell, L-O-W-E-L-L. And she is an author who had, back in 1995, wrote the book Against the Grain, because that's when she had to give up gluten. She's also got her book, Gluten-Free Revolution, and it was published in 2015, but there's also an updated version out there that's come out.
Mm-hmm.
And she also wrote the Gluten-Free Bible in 2005. So those are 3 books by her that are very good introduction and talk about the issues people have, the symptoms people have, and how to cope. So those are a list of several books that I personally really like because of what they offer as far as content.
Oh, okay. Good.
Now, people think, oh my goodness, what am I going to eat when I go gluten-free? You got to remember that meat and vegetables, unless they are processed in some way, don't contain gluten.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So a pack of chicken breasts, unless they've been prepared by the grocery store with seasoning, they don't contain gluten. A pork tenderloin, unless it has a marinade on it, does not contain gluten. So you can eat meat and vegetables. If you go to get deli meat, ask the deli. They should be able to tell you there are Boar's Head has gluten-free options, and other major manufacturers of luncheon meat have gluten-free options. Honey Baked Hams was one of the first to change its marinade recipe. So honey baked ham and turkey breasts are gluten-free, which is great to know if for around the holidays or if you want a ham or a turkey breast from them. But don't hesitate. Ask questions. When in doubt, ask. If they cannot give you a confirmation, a yay or a nay either way, don't buy it.
Just assume that, again, it has gluten. Yeah.
Just assume it has gluten.
Makes sense.
Because it is out there everywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
As far as cross-contamination.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to a restaurant and they will say, we offer gluten-free options, but we cannot confirm that there's no cross-contamination. Just realize that. If you are highly sensitive and you've just been diagnosed, maybe plan not to eat out for 30 days. Give yourself a break. Buy your gluten-free products. Make yourself meals. If you go over to somebody's house, maybe take your food. Depends on where you are in the process. Some restaurants I have reacted to, and I've learned just don't go there. Nowadays, really, if they're offering gluten-free, they will tell you. They will ask, are you celiac? If you are, here's some things you can have, but don't have these because of whatever. I went to a little local restaurant here, and they have a gluten-free pizza, and I went because I wanted to try it.
Oh, yeah.
Said, are you celiac? And I said yes, and he said, then don't try it. We cannot guarantee that it doesn't have flour on it, and it's sometimes cut with the same knife.
Oh, wow.
The other pizzas are, so there may be cross-contamination. So restaurants are very aware of this issue.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the time, the servers are knowledgeable. If not, you can ask to speak to a manager. They will help walk you through it.
Okay.
Products, there are loads of gluten. Look how thick this book is.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's lots of gluten-free products out there. If you don't find them in your local grocery store, you can order. You can order directly most of the time, directly from the manufacturer, or they'll have on their website retailers that carry them. And also these great online markets like Thrive and other ones where they sell the products. You can place an order and get your products. I actually do that a lot for gluten-free crackers because not all grocery stores carry the ones I like. So I'll order I don't typically eat a lot of crackers, but I do. If I know something's coming up, I'll place an order and buy some.
Okay.
So I'll have them on hand around the holidays when I know I'm going to be going to cocktail parties or festivities where I may be taking an appetizer or an hors d'oeuvre and I want crackers and I want to make sure I bring the gluten-free crackers. So remember, you can shop online for gluten-free products. But it's really critical when you're grocery shopping to look at the label.
Mm-hmm.
I found I'm going to step away from the camera.
Uh-huh.
I was shopping, doing my regular shopping. I meant to get these out. And I was in Kroger here in Atlanta and found these absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely gluten-free is the product.
Neat.
And classic coconut macaroons.
Wow.
And these are the chocolate ones. And
they look good. Oh, wow.
They are actually, they're so moist and chewy. They're really good.
And gluten-free, wow.
Look through the grocery store. Also, a lot of manufacturers like Betty Crocker, Nabisco have come out, and others have come out with a gluten-free line.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, those are right next to their non-gluten counterpart.
Oh, okay. I see. Mm-hmm.
So you can look through the grocery store. Also, you can go online to the grocery stores and search their website.
Mm-hmm.
They should have a list that tells you what's gluten-free and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have it on their website, you can ask for one.
Good. Excellent.
So it's a world that needs to be understood.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some time to educate yourself what you can eat, what's out there for you to eat.
Right.
And where to go to get it. I mean, the grocery stores, Whole Foods has a good gluten-free section, Sprouts, Ingles, Kroger, and I'm talking, these are Atlanta-based names that I'm talking about.
Wow.
They have good gluten-free sections and utilize them. If you don't see it on the shelf and you're looking for a particular something, it may be you're not finding it because you don't know where it is. Ask. They are they're there to help you. They're to get you where you want to go. So they'll direct you to where you want to go. And if they don't have it, you can always ask them to order it.
Perfect.
But I do think for anyone who's going gluten-free, that this little gluten-free shopping guide is an invaluable resource. And, go to the library, check out books on gluten-free before you buy them. See if the library has them, or see if somebody else has one you can borrow to see before you invest in them, because there are a lot of books. There are a lot of cookbooks out there with gluten-free recipes.
Okay.
And if you're not a cook, go to the grocery store. There are a lot of resources at the grocery store to be able to make things or make products that you need or want.
Excellent.
And you can order so much online or pick it up at the grocery store.
Very good, Elsie. And I was going to inject also, there's a couple of restaurants in Atlanta that are 100% gluten-free that I know of. There's one right down the street, Elsie. It's called Karma Farm. It's on Far Road. I can't remember if we talked about that one, but they just...
We did talk about
that. Okay. But had you been there? I don't remember if you told me.
I haven't been there yet. I've been to Mediterranean over in Grant Park.
That's the second one I was going to mention, right? It was Mediterranean.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Let's see. There are quite a few. They're popping up.
Another one that I just found out about is Arepa Mia. I don't know if you've heard of that one. I
haven't been there yet either.
There's one in Edgewood. I think that's more downtown near Georgia State. The other one is near Avondale Estates, which I don't think that's that far from you. So that's kind of East Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're good too. They're 100% gluten-free.
That's fabulous. And a lot of these restaurants, like I know particularly Mediterranean, you can order cakes, cookies, the best scones. Oh my gosh!
Oh, good.
You can order things from their bakery for birthday parties or to take to festivities or things like that.
Okay.
So they're also a resource.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. Yeah. That's
and
really.
There's out at the. I just found out there's a great baker. And I'll try to...
you're going to say Sally's? Is that the one you were thinking of?
This is another one I found. I went walking at the Brook Run Park with a girlfriend, and on Saturdays they have a local farmer's market. And one of the
okay.
foods was a gluten-free pound cake. They only make pound cakes, but they have a gluten-free option. And I tried a sample. It was quite good.
Oh, nice. Okay, because that just made me think of a couple of bakeries I just found out of. There's one called Sally's. That's really close to you. That's on Druid. They just opened the one on Briar Cliff near Druid Hills.
It's one on Briar Cliff. The original one was over near Perimeter. I don't know if they're still over there or not. But she's been around since, I want to say 2010 or 11, and she was diagnosed with celiac. Her children was, and she started baking because there were no, when I was diagnosed and when she or her family were diagnosed, there were no products, and the ones that were tasted like cardboard. They had no flavor.
Yeah.
So if I wanted a chocolate cake or a blueberry muffin, I had to make it. I had to learn.
Wow.
And, now there are all these incredible products out there. But I am going to throw in junk food is junk food, whether it contains gluten or is gluten-free. It is junk food.
Yeah, you're right.
Eating a lot of refined sugar, eating a lot of high-carb foods are not healthy for us. That's how we put on weight and get sick. So remember that when you're looking at products, that junk food is junk food, whether it's gluten-free or non-gluten or gluten-containing.
Yeah, weight loss, you're right, Elsie. It's like a mathematical equation. What goes in minus what goes out is going to be the end result. It's kind of like I sent you a really cool video. I saw this 174-pound dog.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah, wasn't that cool? I thought that was that's a great testimonial. But it's like you said, that's wonderful. You always give us so much great advice, and this has been wonderful, like always, Elsie. Thank you so much for the gluten education. This will be really helpful for anybody who has celiac or is gluten intolerant. They're going to have to watch this video and listen to everything, and get a hold of those books that you provided too. That's a really great resource. So speaking of which, brings us to time. You as a resource, how can people find more about Elsie Trawick Wellness and contact you directly?
Yes, they can contact me directly on my business phone, 404-788-1610, or my business page on Facebook, Elsie Trawick Wellness. Can message me, and I will respond. And I look forward to, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to call or text.
Excellent, Elsie. You're the best. And again, thank you again. This is so much fun. I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll get the contact info one more time up here on the screen as we fade to black. And Elsie, happy weekend to you.
Happy weekend to you. Enjoy it.
Thank you.